Hi folks, this is Jay. We're looking at this book and it's, I believe, in the resurrection of Jesus, and we're looking at chapter 5, the resurrection in Judaism. It's by a great scholar, George Eldon and we're looking at basically what was Judaism's understanding of the resurrection, and then that helps us to understand when we're reading the New Testament and defending the New Testament, whether our literature is actually based in the historical context of Judaism of the first century. Ladd says, we possess a fairly extensive literature from New Testament times which reflects to us contemporary Jewish ideas about many things, including the fate of the dead, resurrection, and the mission of the Messiah. This literature may be described in three different groups. First is the Jewish intertestamental literature, usually referred to as Apocrypha and Pseudo-Apocrypha, and Apocrypha means things that are hidden. It is not clear how the term came to be used to designate a certain collection of books. The books of the Apocrypha are those contained in the Roman Catholic Church Bible, which the Protestant churches do not recognize as canonical. Pseudography means false writings in the sense that its given book is attributed to someone who obviously did not write it, e.g. Enoch, Baruch, Moses. However, these are artificial designations which have arisen through historical accident. It is more accurate to describe all these books as Jewish apocryphal or intertestamental writings. The various books were produced by various groups within Judaism and reflect great diversity in viewpoints. A second group of literature is the so-called Qumran writings produced by a separatist sect in the first 2 centuries BC. The most important of these writings are the Manual of Discipline, the Damascus Document, the Hymns of the War Scroll, and the commentaries on certain Old Testament books. The Qumran writings reflect ideas which are different from those found in the other Jewish intertestamental writings. A third source of intertestamental ideas is the Talmudic writings, representing the thinking of the Pharisees, scribes, whose teaching formed the mainstream of Jewish thought after the fall of Jerusalem. These writings must be used with caution, for they were compiled much later than the New Testament times. However, since they embodied the traditions of the elders, Mark 7:35, which were preserved in oral form in Jesus' day, they reflect one important strand in Jewish thinking. Josephus, the great Jewish historian, who wrote in the 1st century AD, says that the Pharisees teach that every soul is imperishable, but that only those of the righteous pass into another body, while those of the wicked are on the contrary punished with eternal torment. The Sadducees, on the other hand, deny the continuance of the soul and punishments and rewards of the world below. A Talmudic writing called Sanhedrin says, according to their teaching, souls perish together with the bodies. Scholars agree practically universally that Josephus means to say that the Pharisees believe in a resurrection of the body as taught in Daniel 12:2, while the Sadducees deny resurrection, but he expresses his thought in idiom meaningful to Gentiles.